Hello, people of the internet. So, over these past few weeks, I've been watching season 3, and oh fucking boy, was this the craziest season that I've seen, like, ever. Alright, I'm only going to focus on the season finale with Conquest and Mark and all that, right? But I might do a video or two on everything else if, this video does good, and if I can get it out in a reasonable amount of time. So, yeah. So, we're just gonna get straight to it. This episode starts off immediately with Mark and Conquest clashing mid-air, like it's the Hulk Buster and Hulk punching. It creates such a powerful goddamn shockwave. Probably, stronger than a JBL speaker, but it's strong enough that it shatters the glass of pretty much every building in the city that they're in. And, for a good bit, Mark was at this man's face as he's flying towards him. He has the intent to blast Mark's head off. And so he grabs Mark, and they start going down like the meteor that killed the goddamn dinosaurs. However, Mark kicks him in the groin, and Conquest's like, oh shit! And they start falling. But, they both catch each other themselves, since they can fly. And Conquest's like, bro, come on. That's it. And it levels the city. It levels the entire city that they're fighting in. And you see how Oliver is flying towards them since he was like, oh, I can go help Mark. And he's like, oh shit. Mark is basically in a crater right now that was created. And Conquest flies down, he's talking to him, yada yada yada. But Oliver comes in, kicks him in the face, and he's like, oh yeah, it's old geezer ass whooping time. And Conquest like hits him in the face, and he punches him away. Kinda like how Omni-Man blasted Mark in that train system. And Mark was like, don't you hurt him, just because. And Conquest is just telling him like, bro, come on, you should have caught your breath, or like fought together, you could have outwitted me, but no, you fought me alone instead. And Conquest's like, I may be old, but I'm not weak at all, and flies over to Oliver, he flies over to Mark, backhands Mark into a building, getting him crushed. He's flying out. And, he's like, I'm gonna rip you in half and eat your heart. Like, dude, Conquest is on something else. But he does that, and he says that he picks up Oliver by the feet and then grabs him by the head and starts pulling him apart, like pulling him in half. And he's like talking to him about like, oh, you feel your muscles start to tear, your vertebrae break, and then your skin ripping. As Oliver's crying because like he's being ripped in half. But Mark is finally getting up from the rubble. He's like seeing Oliver literally get torn in half. It's over to Conquest. And Conquest is like, oh, you're a bit fast. Stops midair. And he's like, not fast enough though. Boom! Punches Mark in the face, but he eats that. Like, I'm telling you, not even season 2 Mark. Hell, season 3 earlier, he probably would have gotten laid out by this. But he does it. He survives that shit. And so, after that, they start fighting again, boom boom, train hits. But then Conquest smacks Mark, hold him in season 1 in the train, except instead of a train, it's an entire city. And you just see both of them flying so fast that the shockwave they create is tearing apart everyone that they go next to. It's kind of graphic. Again, I'm gonna like probably blur this, but uh, yeah, it's crazy. And so eventually they finally like fly up into like this little hilly area where the final part of this fight takes place. However, Eve, right now, during all this, is waking up and she sees on the news how Mark is getting his ass beat by another Viltrumite. And so she's like, oh hell no, I'm going out there, I'm helping him. And calls up Cecil as Cecil's next to Oliver's like knocked out body, like we gotta get him immediately out of here. And Eve is like, yo, I gotta get out there and help. And he's like, don't make me ask twice. And she's like, no, shut up. I'm going out there. And so while Conquest has Mark on the ground, he's given this crazy speech of
to your grave.
The guy clearly can change, but he chooses not to. He chooses the life of evil and destroying planets. And so, right after, kind of loosening up, he's like, you're gonna take that to your grave, alright? And starts choking out Mark. However, Eve shows up and hits Conquest in the back, getting his attention. He flies up to her, and is like, oh, hey there, kitten. And immediately he says that, I'm like, ooh, yeah, okay, yeah, this guy's a Discord mod. But he says that to her, and they get down to business. They start fighting like crazy. Eve actually locks in for this fight too. She gets that Power Ranger armor and like some big ass mallets and spears. She's like dimension. Sorry. We see right before Eve is about to start fighting, or like as Eve starts fighting, Conquest breaks Mark's leg, and that's why he wasn't able to fight. He breaks Mark's leg with one hit, and it's on the femur too, which is like seriously bad. And so Mark flies up, catches her, and he's distraught. He's like, I can't live without you. I can't do this without you, please. And she, goes bye-bye. She game ends herself, basically. And so Mark's arm as well. And Conquest was like, oh shit, there we go, finally something. And so, again, they get on the ground, and he starts choking out Mark. But you see, Eve, she hit that monster reborn looking like a Super Saiyan god. And she gets up. She's in like this super form. It's because like she has like some weird power blockers in her head, so that but they get removed when she's under extreme stress or like trauma, and she just goes because Conquest. The way Steven Yeun sounds voice acting him is just incredible. Like he sounds like he just went through some shit. So yeah, she's like, oh man, because Mark's like, oh I love you, and she's like, oh I love you too, and then he passes out, and we see him in the hospital, face busted up, head wrapped, the arms broken, legs in a cast, everything just got destroyed in that fight. And Cecil walks in, he's like, hey, I heard you guys talking here, and then immediately Invincible like, where's Conquest? Or so they think. And he says, burn it like anyone would. Just burn the shit out of it. Get rid of it. Throw it on a volcano. I don't care. And yeah. And so they go to a ceremony that they hold for Rex. All the heroes are there from the Fraudians of the globe and everything like that. Honestly, I'm glad we didn't see Mortal there as well. I just want to point that out. He would have probably just gotten killed again and again and again and again. I can't with his L's. But yeah, I will say that ceremony for Rex, Rudy taking his name was like, it was good. I liked it. Um, yeah, it was hard to watch. No, I didn't cry, but it was like, damn, just damn. He's gone for forever. And so after that, we cut to Adam Eve and Invincible flying to Mark's house. And you already know what they do. All right, you'll see in the little cutaway footage that I have here of the episode. Which, by the way, I think it's hilarious that he's just wrapped up in like bandages and casts and shit like that, and they're doing this. And also, when she zaps his suit away and puts it on the ground, if it zooms in on the suit, and it has like either paint or some glowy rainbowy shit leaking from it or under it or something. Also, the suit's glowing, so that's kind of interesting. So I don't really know what that's hinting towards. I've only seen a bit of the comics, like issue number 1 and 2 and some YouTube Shorts clips. That's basically it. So I really don't know what that's about, but I'm excited to find out, hopefully next year. And it cuts to, it cuts to the Sequids in a sewer, which I've been wondering where Sequids have been. I think everyone was wondering where Sequids were for the entire season, And we see they're building a goddamn army. And we also see Angstrom with a new little robot arm. And he promises the technicians that, he's going to give you a new world. And also something else. We didn't really get to hear what else the technicians wanted from Angstrom. And that's when the first credits roll. When we see the after credits scene, we see goddamn Damien Darkblood summon Satan or something. And he's like, I got a way to summon someone to give you your eternal throne back. He also says this like a little stupidly is all I'm gonna say, like a caveman talking, when Satan or whatever is speaking perfect English, which I still don't get how every creature in the show speaks English, but I'm not even gonna get into it. And that's where the season ends. So hopefully, like I said, next year we'll get season 4, because they do plan on doing this annually. So yeah, I guess that's the end of this video. I'm gonna try and work on this, and if it doesn't come out before the end of March, I am deleting my channel. Right. See ya, and have a good day.